that time. It is that time of year. We are finally making pear wine. I know we've been hinting at it, we've been talking about it, but Steph picked all the pears the other day. We have let them sit out and ripen up a little bit, which is going to be perfect because they're a little bruised, they're a little overripe, and that's kind of what we want. It's pretty much perfect to bring out the sweetness and the pear flavor. Steph said some of them might even be fermenting already.
Yeah, none of them are molded, but if they are like showing like signs of mold, obviously we'll throw those out. But the ones that are like pretty mushy and have some like dark bruise spots on them, those sugars are really starting to develop inside that pear. So that's good news for us.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about real quick what we're going to do. We're going to end up making 2 gallons of our spiced pear wine. Now this is a very light and young wine. This is not one that you let age for a year, which you can. It never hurts it. It never hurts any wine to age for a year if you want to set a couple bottles back. But this is actually a wine that's very good to drink very young, which is why we like to make it in August as soon as our pears are ready, late August, early September, because that means by the time the weather starts cooling down, this is going to be ready to drink. Yeah. I mean, very quickly. It's a white fruit wine, so very crisp. So the breakdown is about 15 to 16. We have 32 pears here. 15 to 16 per gallon. So that's why we decided we're going to go ahead and do a full 2 gallons with all the rest of our pears. And then we have 4 cups of sugar per gallon. And so we're going to use 8 cups of sugar. That's just white granulated sugar. We have some clove that I'm going to grind up in the mortar and pestle. And then we've got some cinnamon sticks that we're going to throw in there as well. We have 1 banana per gallon, so 2 bananas. We're going to throw the whole banana and the peel into this because that's going to give the wine more body. And then the last thing is 1 tea bag, like a black tea bag. We're going to throw in there because there are no tannins in any of this naturally, so we're going to add some tannin to it as well. So step number 1, we're going to chop the tops off of the pears, and then we're going to, so the tops of the pears are going to go into the compost, and then we're going to cube the rest of the pear up, and we'll throw it in our sanitized brew bucket. So let's get started. Step 1, cube the pears.
Step 1, sanitize everything.
Oh yeah, sanitize everything. You guys know all that.
Show the people the bucket.
Okay. Cubed pears. Smells great.
Yes.
So, the cubed pears go in the bucket.
Sanitized bucket.
Okay. Now, on top of the pears, we are going to peel 2 bananas and throw the banana and the peel in. You don't have to mash the banana because we're going to stir it all up here in a second. Okay. And Now we're going to add the sugar. This is 4 cups per gallon, so 8 cups. May seem like a lot of sugar, but remember that sugar is going to be the food for the yeast to turn it into alcohol. And plus, we want it to have a sweet crispness on the end of it. All right, so now that this is all in here, I'm going to go ahead and ground up a handful of cloves. I will do so in the mortar and pestle.
Just a handful?
Just a handful.
Are you measuring with your heart?
Measure in my heart.
You can explain what grinding the cloves.
So I'm grinding these up because I want to get the cloves all broken up to release all of their flavor trapped in those little cloves.
Natural oils and stuff.
Yeah, all the natural oils, everything, just like that, and into handful of ground clove into the bucket. So we're not going to add the cinnamon sticks just yet or the tea bag because right now we're going to add hot boiling water to this and we're going to give it a really good stir with the brewer's paddle. So let's get some water boiled up. Okay, 2 liters of boiling water going in. Now it's time to stir with the brewer's paddle. Basically just want to let everyone get to know each other in the pot. Oh man, the smell. It smells like fall.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of mashing that banana up too. Well, anytime I see a piece of banana, I'm kind of pushing up against it to mash it up. Now, in goes a tea bag of black tea. In goes 2 cinnamon sticks for primary fermentation, then I'll save 2 for secondary fermentation. So 2 cinnamon sticks in. Another quick stir. Making sure not to bust my tea bag open. If it does, it's not the end of the world. Everything will be filtered out anyway. Okay. Now we're going to fill this bucket up to the 2-gallon mark with cool water on top of all this. All right. When it comes to the water capacity, math. Basically, what you want to do is you want to get, since we're doing a 2-gallon batch, we want to get 2 gallons of water in this bucket, not counting the space that the pears are taking up. So you don't worry about what the bucket says right now as far as where it's at. We know we put 2 liters of boiling water in it. So now we need to bring that up to 1.5 gallons. Or we need to bring that up to 2 gallons, which comes out to be about 1.5 gallons, which is what we need now, of cool water. We're using filtered water. So let's go ahead and add that in. So we have added our 2 gallons of water. We're going to stir. Now we need to let this cool down to about room temperature before we add the yeast to it, just like if you're brewing anything else. Too hot temperature will kill the yeast. So let this cool off for a little bit, and we will be back. We are going to be using our cider and mead yeast that we had a couple packets of this that we purchased last time when we made mead. This is a smack pack, so inside you can kind of feel a nutrient, like a little nutrient bag in there that needs to be busted to mix. So you just take it in one hand, feel where that pouch is, and smack it. Pops it open. We shake it really good. We're gonna let this sit out at room temperature because it's been in the refrigerator, so it's cold. Let it sit out at room temperature for about 3 hours, and you'll see this bag start swelling up. That's how you know that it's activated. If it doesn't swell up, don't use it, because then you got dead yeast. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to add the yeast packet.
We just need 1 pouch for this whole batch.
Okay. And I don't really need to stir it, but we are going to give it a shake. So hold on to this for me. All right. Now we're going to put some sanitizer, some water with sanitizer inside of the airlock. All right, some water with sanitizer in here. The reason why we use an airlock is because we want to allow gases to escape during the brewing process, but we don't want oxygen getting in. So that's what this airlock allows us to do. We should see it bubbling once fermentation starts. So we are going to put this in the pantry, just room temperature area, for about a week. I may shake it every couple days, just to get everything mixed up in there. And then after a week, we will take the wine off of all the stuff that's in there and let it ferment in a secondary fermenter in our glass carboy, so that it clears up and looks nice and pretty. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode while we made pear wine, our spiced pear wine, fall wine. I cannot wait to try this. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
See you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.